Let me tell you the real story, how it went down. Let me tell you how it really went down.
Here we go.
So it was a nice hot 102 degrees
Texas.
on a July afternoon.
Why?
I was an RA, and what that means to you is, I think now they call them campus assistants or something like that. But back in my day, they called it a resident assistant. And now, as a resident assistant, my job was to, well, you guessed it, assist the residents. And so we had different jobs at the time. And one of the things that we will always do is during the orientation for college. Now, if you have been under a rock or if you just don't know what orientation is where you have literally thousands of, potential students and future students from all over the place. And they come and, they go to different events, not classes, but you learn where things are on the campus. You meet people, you go to dorms, and you get to get your first taste of college life. And so it was superb marketing of the establishment that I worked for, because if I had to put my very best out there to get people to come live where I wanted them to live, I would have chose Me Too. So suffice to say, we used to hand out water and brochures, little bottles of water, because it's Texas, it's hot. Again, it was a nice 102 degrees with a little wind. It wasn't that humid that day.
Why are you using that voice? It was a little 102 degrees.
It makes the story more interesting. So you cut me off because you're trying to interfere with me changing your life. So
Not at all.
I'm handing out water, and you meet a lot of people. I was used to meeting hundreds of people each day. Now, that particular day, I wasn't even supposed to work. A friend of mine, shout out to Sasha, she had the afternoon shift. I had the morning shift, and we switched. Well, no, we didn't switch. I switched someone so that I could work with her and the shift would pass, faster. It was 4 to 6. And so, it's a 2-hour shift. That's a long shift. And so there are 2 young ladies that approach needing water.
A life changer.
Let's just say.
Did I do the voice? A life changer.
They approach the life changer. And so.
No, the life changer approaches you now.
Well, yes, because I'm handing out water. So I go to hand out the water. And of course, one of these girls is looking very thirsty. That's right. She's looking thirsty. She's looking parched. So I go to hand her water. And her attitude was what my grandmother would say, stank. And then the other one was very nice. It's like, man, this is a nice young lady here. She's very nice. But one of them had a real stank.
Who was who? Tell us.
Stank attitude. Who was who? What do you mean? Who was who? I'm getting there. Let me ride this thing on out before I change your life. So anyway, these 2 young ladies walk up. One is just absolutely in the worst mood, and I'm a big person on first impressions. So if we meet for the first time and your attitude is garbage, ain't gonna be no second time, and I'm probably not gonna be nice to you. Normally, I'm pretty outgoing, and I talk a lot.
Unless you a life changer.
And we getting there. And so Deja was so nice. And I was like, you know what? I would like to have her on my floor. She seemed like she's gonna be a lot of fun. She seems like, she'll come to events.
So what's the love at first sight?
What you mean? It was gonna be it was almost fight at first sight. It's gonna take that water, just dump the water on your head. Almost. I mean, literally. if you could see her face, I'm gonna make noises for her face. Then this is what her face would have been saying. That's what your face.
I didn't have to boo boo, by the way. Just
she was making a boo boo face. Boo boo. Now you see. You already understand. So suffice to say, I say I want the one girl. She would be cool. The other one, nah, that ain't it. So fast forward. This is like we have like an early move in, which is where like you only have a few people that are moving in the building. And again, I told you I'm a person on big first impressions. And so who do I see getting off the elevator?
So I did sign up for early move in, and actually it was on the drive to Austin to move in. When my roommate Deja had called me and she was like, guess who our resident assistant's going to be? And I was like, who? And she was like, Kevin Jack. I don't know.
The life changer.
Kevin. And so I was like, okay, cool. I mean, I remembered it. That was the one that we met on the drag. I was like, all right, cool. So whenever we get to the Castilian to move in and everything, I mean, I spotted him right away, and I was like, "Hey, guess what?"
Did. Oh yeah, you did.
Mainly because he was the one pushing the buttons on the elevator.
I was operating. I was the designated. Boy, that's a lame story. I was the designated elevator operator that day. Yeah, I was operating the elevator, so I would take you up and down, and I had the key. And so I could lock off certain floors so that we only could go. So, I was kind of a big deal that day. I was the guy that you needed to know. I mean, will you say that at least? At least, is this why we're in a relationship? Because I was the elevator guy and you needed me to lock off the floor for you? Not too long. It took you too long to answer.
Anywho, and so he was like, okay, cool. I'm sure he probably had that stink face from our first meeting in his head. But I thought I was a completely different person at that point.
You thought I was a complete?
I was.
Oh, okay. You were. Your attitude was just not as stank.
But yeah, so yeah, that was our second meeting or encounter.
So let's get this straight. When we meet the second time, she's very nice, very bubbly, and I'm not having it at that point. The life change. Your life was almost not about to be changed. You about to miss out on this golden goose. Okay.
But you started realizing I was the life changer.
Okay. So look, sometimes in life you got to go for what you know, and you got to go get what you want to get. And I applaud you because in this scenario, you saw something that you wanted and you went for it. And so one day I'm in the hall and I'm decorating for the students that are going to be coming. And she steps out and she's trying to give me these goo eyes. And I'm blocking them. You had your chance to have your life changed. I'm blocking it. I'm blocking. So she comes up and it's like the scene out of one of those, college teen movies, and she's like, what are you doing? Are you trying to seduce somebody?
Okay, so this was I think it was the same day that the move-in day. So I guess the resident, I didn't know this at the time. I didn't know who kind of decorated the floor lounge. So you have the elevators and you have the lounge, and then of course like the rooms. So as the elevator opens on the other floors, you can see how their lounge is decorated, different themes and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And for the most part, they're all college themed. I would categorize them as that, I guess. But it was like beach theme, summer type themes, and then you get to our floor.
What's wrong with my floor?
It's like a night in Paris. There's the Eiffel Tower. Yes. There's a little like pseudo. I don't know, were they real or
glasses?
fake?
They were fake.
Little
fake wine flutes
with roses,
with grapes.
But
and
yeah, I had a whole
roses.
background.
Yeah.
Anywho, so yes,
Yeah.
one of my first comments
Yeah.
was
Yeah. Was what? Yeah. So she approached me, and it was flirtatious. You were flirting. Were you not flirting at that point?
possible.
Was it love at that point? Was it love at that point?
You know, I could say I had a crush at
She
that
had a
point.
thing for your boy.